Hello and welcome to my second episode. This is my FTL adventure. I'm Sheepdog from Mature Gamer Podcast. So last episode I did a quick run through how I was going to set up my game of FTL. The mixed feedback I got from last week went two ways. One way was quite positive. People enjoyed it even though they didn't really know what was going on. The other feedback was kind of that I didn't have a clue what was going on, and I don't know whether they enjoyed it, but they didn't really get it. So what I thought I'd do, just to kick this off, is explain maybe in a bit more detail how this game works, what it is, and why it's fun to play. So I want to start off with just kind of going through the ship a little bit more in a little bit more detail. I showed you last week that I'd picked this ship, the Kestrel, and how I leave the doors open so the oxygen flows out on these parts. Now, the game's got a lot to it, so there's lots of different rooms on the ship. Some are empty at the moment, some have already got parts in them. I've got my pilot up here, which is me flying the ship. If I take myself out of there, you'll notice up the top here I can no longer move the ship. If I get myself back in the driving seat, I can drive. Here's my surveillance. Without that on, I can't really see most of my ship, and I can't see other people's ships. I've got a person in here managing the door system, so that these little bits here can open and close. If that's broken, they can't open or close. If it's working and I upgrade it, then it means that the doors are sturdier. If somebody tries to break in, they can't get through. Got my medibay here, so if someone's injured, like Debbie here, I can send her across and she will slowly heal up until she's at 100% health, and then she'll die quietly over there. So she loses 6 health walking through this vacuum that I've created, which I didn't really think through when I did it. I've got Kevin here on my shields. Now, this little blue bit up in the top left corner is my shield status. Basically, if there's a blue dot there, it means that if I get shot, that will take the shot. If someone shoots me twice, that'll go down, and then this will start going down, my hull integrity. So at the moment, I've lost a little bit of my hull, and I need to repair my ship. I can update my shield and other things through this part of my ship. So there's my shield there. I can use scrap to update my shield. I can make my engines faster so that I can flee quicker and dodge attack. I can make people heal quicker by going to the medibay. Is that slightly updated? I can make the oxygen in my ship fill quicker. So you see those rooms that are empty of oxygen there. If I shut the doors, which I can do here, then they'll slowly fill with oxygen and basically turn white. So that means that I can now move my people around the ship and they won't die when they do it. So if I give Debbie a bit of healing there, she's now on 100, Charlie's on 100, and I can go back to opening the outside doors. So, as I explained last week, the reason I've opened the outside doors is so that if anyone happens to break into my ship, I can send Debbie and Charlie straight to the medibay, and then I can open all these doors, and anyone caught on this side of the ship will just die of asphyxiation, while everybody else hides over this side of the ship, staying healthy and flying the thing. Other things that you can work on are weapons, so the more power they have, obviously the harder they fire. At the moment I only have 3 power, which means I've got enough to put these 2 weapons on, but as you can see there's 2 more spaces there to add in better weapons. So at the moment I do about 4 damage when I attack 5 damage when I attack other ships. I could get one weapon that does 5 damage on its own and sell both of them, but we're only early on in the game. And the last one was the FTL drive, which helps you evade other people's attacks and also decides how quickly you charge up in battle. So you'll notice it says jump there at the moment, but if you're in a battle or you land in another place, you have to wait for that to fill up. So sometimes there might be a sun in the background that's going to have a solar flare. There might be a star that disables your engines and whatnot. There could be all sorts of things going on in the background. There could be an asteroid field hitting your ship. And if you don't have enough FTL, then basically you're losing shield and potentially hull if you just stay there. So I think I've explained all the different rooms and weapons. I can add in new rooms, so I could add in a drone room here. I could add in a cloning room. There's all sorts of things you can own. I can employ more people for my ship if I collect enough scrap up here. You can collect fuel. If you run out of fuel, you're kind of stuck in space and you have to wait for something to come your way. Um, yeah. Okay, so there's lots of different races in this as well. You've only seen the bug race so far. I can't remember what they're actually called. It doesn't tell me on there, but they're basically bugs. There's about 4 or 5 other races that I can meet along the way. The big thing that I don't think I mentioned either, and most of you familiar with the game will know, is if the Kestrel gets destroyed, that's it, game over. I can't then continue my story from there. That is the end of this tale. So every time I go into battle or I take a decision, I am risking the fate of my crew. If anyone dies, they're gone for good. So there's Kev, Anna and Steve on there. That's me and the 2 hosts from the Mature Gamer podcast. I would have had Pab in there as well, but I couldn't name anyone else, so I hope we come across him in the sky somewhere. Otherwise, he's going to have to be called Debbie from now on. But basically, if anyone dies or the ship gets blown up, that's that. Anyone I kill or decide to let live is allowed to live, and so on and so forth. Once I've been to a world and then the rebellion has hit that world, I can never go back to it. We're basically on the run from a fleet that will destroy us if they can. So yeah, where we left off last week, I had a choice between jumping to an uncharted nebula or the Zoltan-controlled civilian space. Now, I put it up to a vote, and I was inundated with votes. One person suggested I go with the Zoltan-controlled world. Nobody else responded, so we're going for that. So that means I've jumped to the next map now. So we're far from the Federation home space. The rebels are still on our tail. Zoltans are generally quite a mean bunch from memory, but this is telling me this is a positive world for me. So I guess that's quite random in the story as well, because sometimes it's saying this is a bad world, sometimes it's saying it's a good world. It does depend on how ships react to you or how skeptical they are to you and whatnot. Now I have options on where to go in this. I've basically got to get to this exit here. Every world has a potential story on it, or a potential decision to make, or battle to complete. I have no way of knowing what's going to be on there. It's different every game, so it's just complete potluck what happens, and I have to decide. The purple bits, they're nebula space, so if I fly into that, I won't be able to see anything usually. And my sensors will be gone. Possibly I'll lose shields. It's a bit risky. So let's go for it and see what happens. So I end up in a battle with this little fella here. He should be quite easy to beat. He's hostile though. And I'm without some features. So you can see by the greyed out bits of my ship, my camera's down because of the storm. So my oxygen's also down. Oh, better close that door before Charlie dies. It's a pretty simple battle to complete because it was only a drone, and I've picked up some scrap there to buy on extra parts of my ship. Also some fuel and some missiles. I just want to wait for Charlie to fix up the oxygen before everybody suffocates. But cool beans, that's done. Now, it's always better to have people in these rooms with a little with stuff to do, because it kind of updates that equipment for you. So you see there's a little man above this. It means that I've got slightly better evasion, slightly better shields, slightly better doors. You can't make O2 any better or Medibay any better, but the things that are important I have done. I need to get to a shop now because my hull is losing integrity fast. Right, so we're lucky that we got to nothing, but here's a shop, so let's fix up the Kestrel. So here's some of the races actually that we talked about. There's an Engi. They're basically a robot, like an organic cyborg group of people. I always like having an Engi in the crew because they have a lot of side stories and all sorts of nonsense that can happen with them. The slug race, I don't really get the point of their... Alright, so they're quite handy. They can see what's going on the ships even when the power's down, so that would mean I wouldn't have to spend money on my camera, because they're basically a walking, talking camera. I haven't got anything to sell. and I don't think there's anything worth particularly buying on here, or anything that I can afford worth buying. But my ship's now fixed. I can buy a couple of missiles to make sure I can blow people up. I got enough fuel for now. Hopefully I don't regret saying that. Let's jump into actually, I'm going to head back to this one quickly, just because it'll be gone forever otherwise. Right, see, these are odd. Participate in their study. They just pay me some scrap, nice and simple. That could have gone bad. It could have been that they were studying the inside of our brains, or want to know what happens when they blow up your ship, or something like that. But that time it was pretty boring, to be honest. Sorry about that. Here we go. So there can be all sorts of things going on in here. So these people need some fuel. There shouldn't be anything bad happening with this. Hey. Oh no, another laser charger. We seem to be getting a lot of laser chargers in this. Max charge shots 4, normal damage 1. It's kind of worth keeping if I had the charge, but I reckon I'll flog that the second I get the chance. Too bad my shop's now been wiped out by the invading fleet behind me. I could end up being that ship because I've only got 6 pieces of fuel left. There's always a chance I'll end up stranded without fuel. I probably shouldn't have given them any, but I just wanted to see what would happen. I was hoping for a bit more story to come from it. So here we are against the rebel fighter. I have to decide how best to attack them. Now, all rebels are going to be more equipped than I am because they're the bad guys and they've just wiped out the Federation, humanity. Imagine Star Trek. The good guys have been wiped out by the rebels. I'm not going to mess around trying to asphyxiate them all because it's just not gonna happen. They're too wise to those sorts of shenanigans. Although if I kill this fella trying to repair the come on, die. Come on. Okay, so Debbie's not very good at aiming, it seems. And my missiles are just kind of missing the mark. It's probably what I get for putting a grasshopper in charge of my missiles, to be fair. But, Jesus Christ, Debbie. I'll give her a couple more chances, and if she carries on, then I might have to just send her to the vacuum. Substantial collection of useful material. I don't think so. 18 scrap. It's not really doing me much good. Maybe I'll try and buy a slug person to replace Debbie and just go send her somewhere where she can't cause any damage. Oh man, they don't sell slug people here. Right, so again, early on, it's really hard to find anything worth buying. I don't really want to waste time on an FTL jammer. I don't really want to waste time on teleporting bombs into rooms to repair the enemy. That seems odd. I know you probably use them on yourself, but that doesn't seem like a good tactic for me. Yeah, this is just useless. I could probably buy some fuel so that I don't end up like those people who are stranded in space. Let's attack. Let's just leave it be. Screw these people. I may have just turned the galaxy we're in against me. And they may actually be a little bit too powerful for me. I kind of wish I didn't do that now. Their shields seem to be pretty damn good. And their guns seem to be pretty damn powerful. I see. So they had a bit of a shield on their shield, which seems handy. But now I've broken through that, they're just going to succumb to my awesomeness. I've broken their doors. I'm not really sure what I was going to gain by doing that, but it's not often you see door controls on a ship, so I just thought, take that. No more doors for you. Okay, now their missile room's on fire. Just wondering if they're just going to die. Well, they did. There you go. They're dead now. For God's sakes. I'm thinking to myself, let's make sure something good happens. And then it's like everything went perfectly fine and everybody survived. And it was completely straightforward and normal. Okay, I jinxed myself a little bit there. I've got mantis people on my ship. And this is where things go a little bit painful. So, I mentioned previously how if I get intruders, I gas the hell out of them. Well, here we go. Let's gas them out. If they come near me, they're dead. It looks like Anna's going to be in trouble unless something spectacular happens. Right, I probably should take out this ship. Okay, see now they're cornered, although I'm kind of cornered because I need somebody to sacrifice themselves. Who have I sent to their death? Oh, I didn't really want to send Kev to his death. I sent Charlie to his death. Night, night.
Why have you got the microphone?
I'm recording, so go to bed. I should probably have edited that out, but I won't. I've ballsed this right up. This is going to be the end of Sheepdog's adventures already. I've lost Steve. I've lost Charlie. Everyone's oxygen has already gone. This could have... Oh, man. This is the worst attempt at a game ever. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. I'm kind of stuck in this weird state of everybody's dead. And I can't get out of it. Nightmare. Why did I complain? I don't really know what I can possibly do here, to be honest. Sheepdog's law has kind of screwed us over because every room in the ship is without oxygen. I'm going to send Debbie. Oh, God. And there's an example of how not to play it. I can't believe I only lasted two goes. I'm so embarrassed. Right, well, as you can see, all crew members are dead. My ship will continue to drift for eternity until looters destroy it. Right, so let's call that a trial run. I've learned a lot of lessons from the first couple of goes. Don't start complaining that it's getting a bit too easy. I think Sheepdog's law was a foolish move. Record when my daughter's in bed so she doesn't burst in and say goodnight and ask me to give her a kiss goodnight. Don't overdo it on the journeys. That was an unnecessary step. I had a clear run to the exit. I could have reacted quicker. I panicked because I had intruders on board. Should have just got out of there, or I don't know. I had other options and I ballsed it up. But now you can see how bad I am at this game. We need to get somewhere. I'm gonna start a new one on the next episode. Although if anyone, see, a lot of people have said, I don't really get this game, or it's a bit slow. If you've got other things you think I could play, let me know. But at the moment, I do really, really want to complete this, and I do really, really need your help, as you can tell. what I'll do is, if I'm going to crack on with this, I'll do another one on Saturday, and I'll do Worlds 1 and 2 in one go, so that you're not all sat there thinking, oh god, I've seen World 1 and 2 already. I'll get to the third sector in the next video, so that it's kind of on speed with everything else, and you've seen it all the way through. Deconstruct any mistakes I've made in these two. That'd be great. Help me figure out what to do. Should I have focused more on I don't know, updating my ship? Is there a better tactic for starting? Should I have bought some bits I didn't buy? Was there a way around the fact that I had no oxygen on my ship? I had snookered myself there. Any advice you can give would be great. I can't believe it lasted 2 episodes and then I'm already dead. But as you can see, this is how brutal it is. All I can do now is go back to the hangar and reselect my my lineup. Would a different ship be better? Would I be better off going with the Square Taurus? That already comes with an update on the drones there, so I mean that is an advantage. It's just a bit of an ugly looking ship, and there's a lot more places to avoid to empty out. I suppose I could empty out all the gaps though. Sheepdog's law could work better here. The Sheepdog manoeuvre, should I say. I can just gas that out and gas that out and gas that out. We shall see. It might be a better option. But let me know in the comments. Subscribe. I won't just be doing FTL forever, so if there's other bits you want me to play through or you want me to do specific things, and your feedback is always welcome. But thanks for watching, and sorry I died already. I can't believe that. That's diabolical. I'll see you on Saturday. Cheers. Bye-bye.